Hello everyone, welcome to next Gen AI with Sai YouTube channel. So today we will see how to implement the RAG using Langchain. Maybe some of you have already started using the Langchain as one of the preferred framework in the industry to implement any Gen AI applications. But those who haven't or those who want to understand how to use Langchain, you can consider this as your first tutorial or first hands-on to use the Langchain. Okay, and one of the nice applications to use Langchain is a RAG, that is Retrieval-Augmented Generations. So first of all, I will explain the concept, what is RAG exactly. Okay, so we will invest some amount of time to understand this theoretical concepts theoretically, and then we will move to the practical implementations. So for that, I'm going to use the Google Colab. The reason I'm using Google Colab because I do not want any kind of dependency of your machine, because I don't know what kind of configuration you guys have, or you should not face any challenges while implementing this, because our focus is to understand the concept or understand the concept theoretically plus practically. So that's why I'm using the Google Colab, so that you can also easily use that the same infrastructure. Okay, so let's not delay too much and let's understand the RAG first. Okay, we know that any LLM, be it is open source or be it is a closed one like ChatGPT, uh, Cloudy, Anthropic model, okay, or any Groq, right? These are the closed source, okay, or any open source. For example, Llama 2, Qwen, then DeepSeek. These models are very good at the coding, right? Or if you want to do summarization, or if you want to do general question answering, right? These are very good, and you know that these LLMs are giving very good answer till these models are been trained off, right? So, for example, like GPT model 4, something has been trained till December 2024, right? It is able to answer, okay, but it is not able to answer if the GPT is not aware about the current status, right? The current situations, what current is going on, they were not able to answer, or they are not able to answer the questions if uh, it is specific to any industry, right? But so that is the disadvantage. What is disadvantage? The LLM is not able to understand useful your business specific applications, right? And second, if something is out of the box, okay, LLM is not good at it. So these are the disadvantages about the LLM. Okay, so we understood what is the good part of LLM and what is the bad part of LLM. Now what is the solution? The two solutions specifically. The first solution, that is the general traditional solution that any machine learning or data scientists people used to do, that is the train the LLM model, right? So you can use that model, you train on your data, but this training is not easy, as the word says, right? It requires lot of data pre-processing, it requires lot of infrastructure in terms of GPU, in terms of hardware, in terms of many things, right? In terms of resources. So you require a time, you require a lot of month to do this. So training is a solution, definitely is the best solution, but it is not the cost efficient, right? The second, that is very efficient in terms of cost, called as RAG, that is the retrieval augmented generation. Here you don't require any kind of hardware, you require, but you don't require a very efficient hardware like a training, but it is an easy way to overcome these solutions. So the two solution, one is the training and second is the RAG. Now let's focus on the what is exactly RAG. RAG is nothing but the retrieval augmented generation, right? Now let's understand this terminology. Okay, when I say RAG, okay, one second, let me see. So when I say RAG is the first word says that the retrieve, second says the augment, and the third word is something called as a generation. So what we are doing, so let's say this is a user is asking something questions, okay, about content, right? So what we want, that this content C is something lies here. Now this LLM model is not aware about this content C. So whenever you asking any question C, okay, whenever the user asking any question about the content C, user asking something in terms of prompt. Then there is an external source which is stored in something called as a database, and the database specifically we use here called as the vector database. Okay, now what is vector database in simple terms? Vector database is the storage where your content of your data is stored, but it is something different than the normal database. In vector database you are storing information with the help of in the embedding format, or it is the encoded format along with the indexer. Normal database has a something different which has a columns, number of rows, multiple information is available. So I'm not going in detail, but this is a something difference between the vector database and the normal database, right? You can write the SQL query, you can write the any query language and get the information out of it. But the vector database is not like that. It is working on the some kind of algorithm, right? Which when you hit the prompt to the LLM, so this information, the specific information related to the content is been fetched with the help of some similarity. Okay, it may be cosine similarity or any other similarity. So we will take another lecture how it works actually, what are the underneath algorithms are available. However, I also have one another video which is about the retrieval mechanism, how the data is being retrieved. So there are different algorithm is available to retrieve. So I will paste the link in the description. So I would suggest please watch that video, so that how the data has been retrieved from any vector database or any storage with the help of, there are different algorithm. Please look into that. Okay, so you will get the depth understanding about that. Now, when you hit the prompt, so information is being fetched using some algorithm and passes to the LLM. Now, what LLM has? LLM has two information. One is the prompt, that is the user prompt. User prompt is nothing but the user question, and plus the retrieved data, right? Now, what happened? What is the advantage here? Now, LLM is aware about the content on which the user is asking the question, and it has a user prompt. So based on the knowledge or based on the data, LLM also has, it gives the answer like a summarization or the question answer. So what is the advantage is that about this RAG, it giving the ability, or it increase the knowledge source. So when I say argument is nothing but the increase the knowledge of LLM. Okay, increase the knowledge of LLM, and then based on the prompt, LLM is generating the answer, right? Now hope you understand what is RAG is all about. Now, why to use RAG? RAG, first of all, because it gives the actual information to the LLM, right? So real data it is giving, okay, along with the knowledge that LLM has. Second, it has a it gives the process and the consolidated knowledge to create the more relevant answer. Generally, LLM is not able to give the answer, the data the company has or any organization has. So RAG is giving the capability to give your data to consolidate knowledge. Okay, because when you ask any question to LLM, it is not something like the whole information passed to the LLM. It is only the consolidate, because it may happen that the some information lies in the different part of the document, and it is very much important to fetch those information from different document, consolidate, and then gives to the LLM. So this is the advantage of the RAG. Third important or a definition, that it has a additional knowledge bases. As I can say, it's an internal access to your knowledge database. Again, we are increasing the LLM capability of their domain specific content, because we knew that the LLM is being trained on the general data. But if you want something domain specific, LLM is failing to answer, right? So this way, with the help of RAG, we are giving the more accurate and domain specific content. And next is that definitely it reduce the hallucination effect, right? So RAG helps to reduce the hallucination effect. So these are the points why to use RAG. Next, now we are going to the practical. As I mentioned, I just want to give some theoretical knowledge, so that if someone don't know, at least they come to the some technical and some theoretical understanding. So what we are going to do, we are going to use the Langchain, then Streamlit for the UI presentation. Then we will use the Groq, which provide the free access to open source model. And here we are using the Qwen for the vector database or the similarity search. We are using FAISS. FAISS is nothing but FAISS is the Facebook AI similarity search for document retrieval. Then what are the steps we are going to follow? We are going to load the PDF file. Okay, then divide it into the chunks. Okay, and then why we are dividing this in the chunks? Because it will help for the optimization, the retrieval, and also we know that the chunks, if you pass whole data, maybe it is go out of the context window. So that's why we are dividing into the chunks. Next, then we are present the chunks to the embedding model so that this chunks get converted into the embedding. Now what is embedding? Embedding is the numerical vector representation of the data, because LLM doesn't understand the textual information. It understands only the numerical. So embedding is the process, and for that we are not writing something from scratch. We will use different embedding model for that. OpenAI is providing some embedding model like text at 002, or there are many others. But we are going to use the open source Hugging Face sentence transformer based embedding model to convert our data in the vector representation. And now when we convert into the vector representation, what is happen? We easily use the mathematical cosine similarity, okay, or the dot product to find the similarity or the relationship between the user prompt, and then we will able to fetch the data. Okay, now there are different, you can also do the keyword search, but I'm not going in the depth. But converting data into the embedding, we are able to capture the relationship, similarity, and meaning in the way machine understand. Now, these embedding methods are widely used in NLP and the recommender system and the search engine. Okay. Now we put all these embedding into the DB, and for that we are using the Facebook AI similarity search vector DB. Okay, for the retrieval. And then this way, finally, this make available to the LLM. So whenever we asking questions to the LLM, we are fetching the related chunks from the DB through the embedding algorithms, underneath algorithms, and this data presented to the LLM, and then LLM gives the answer based on the user query and the data which was presented to the LLM. Okay, so this is the practical we are going to do. Okay, and this is the reference article I have been using for this presentation. Okay, now let's start from the beginning, how we can use this practically. Okay, so I'm going to do step by step so that you can also do this. Okay, so let's go to the Google Colab. Let me open this. So I'm doing this from scratch so that you can also do it along with me, right? Me open the new notebook. Yes, so it's opening. Let's give the, meanwhile let me connect to this. Let me give the name Langchain Rag Basic. Okay, before we start we need to install few libraries. So let me copy paste to save our time. Okay, okay, so we require Streamlit, Langchain, Face CPU, and Langchain Groq. Okay, and also we require another something called as a PyPDF to read the PDF. Okay, yes, so let me start the installation. So as we are using Google Colab, so it is pretty fast. Okay, meanwhile it is installing, let's write the another block of code. Now first, what we are going to learn, we require to import. So we are going to write something called as the uh, document loader file. Okay, so now nowadays this Google Colab is giving, you know, the one of the very fantastic functionality. It's giving the automated code generation. Okay, so you can use that. So we are going to write the document loader.py file. Okay, now why I'm using this magic function, because whatever functions I'm writing here in this block of code, it will One second, what happened? Yeah. Okay. Now whatever functions or whatever lines of code I'm writing, it is getting converted into the py file. Okay. Now why I'm doing this? Because we wanted to run the Streamlit app. Okay, so that we can showcase. Okay, now before running the Streamlit app, and I'll discuss something with you, but let's complete this first. Now, and you also come to know how you can run the Streamlit app on Google Colab, because that is a bit difficult to run the Streamlit app, but I will guide you. Don't worry. So now this is a Langchain from the community. We install the community here. Let's check. No, so we need to install the Langchain community as well. Also require to install Hugging Face library too. So if install Langchain, this is the, see, very nice. It's coming automatically, right? And then Hugging Face, because we are going to use the open source embedding model. Okay, let me install this. Okay. So from the Langchain community dot document, we are importing PyPDF loader. Okay, this is the file we are going to load, library we are going to load, and then from Langchain dot text splitter, we are going to import recursive splitter. Now what is recursive splitter? Recursive character splitter. This is the one of the you can say function in Langchain. It will help to split the document into the chunk. Okay, so that's why we are using this. Then we are writing the function call as a load the document. Okay, now this is a function. Here we are going to pass not file, but we are going to pass the PDF. Okay, you can write anything. Okay, and let's first load the PDF. Okay, load a PDF. Now while loading the PDF, we are calling this PyPDF loader, and the file we are passing, that is called as a PDF. And before returning the load, let me delete this. Okay, we need to first read this loader dot load. Okay, so we are reading the whole PDF data. Once the reading is done, now we have the data. We have to do the splitting. But for that, let me first initialize the recursive splitter. So we are going to text splitter and the recursive character text splitter, where we are mentioning something chunk size. Okay, now we want chunk size coming as 1,000, but let's set it as a 500, and then chunk overlap is a 100. Now what happened? Let me explain here. When I say chunk size 500, so I'm dividing my document into the length of in the length of 500. Okay, now whenever I'm going to divide the another data, okay, so let me use the pencil. Yeah, so let's say here it is the, okay, so this is my document, let's say, for example. Okay, so I'm dividing my document data of length 500. Pen is not working. Okay, yes, let me use this. Oh, just a second. Yeah. Okay, so let's say this is my document, and I'm dividing data of length 500, but I'm keeping some overlap of my document splitting. So my next document, the next chunk has some data of length 100 into the second. Okay, so let's say it has a B and C. So my next document also has something says C, D, E. My next document again has E, F, G, right? So few data of from previous chunk we want to keep as a overlap. Now why we are doing this overlap? Because we somehow we wanted to give the information to LLM that these informations are interlinked. It is not like that this information from something different document, this information something different document. So that's the reason we wanted to have this overlapping, so that it will feel that this is all these informations are coming from the same document. Okay, so that's the reason. Now there are different way to how you wanted to split the data. Okay, so accordingly you can do that. Okay, so now let's move. Let's say it's okay. So our installation is complete. Why it's coming red? Okay. In community document loaders. Okay. From the document loaders, we are using the PyPDF loader. Okay, now resolve. Now we have this, right? Now what happened? We initiate this text splitter. Now we want to use text splitter to split the document, and that whatever docs we have shared, we are giving to this. Now doc has been splitted, and then once the now rather than docs, let me say this is as a chunks, right? Now I have the chunks with me, and I'm going to return this chunks. So what this function does, whatever file I'm passing to the, before passing any information to LLM, I want to split that document into the chunks, and this way we are returning our chunks. Okay, so let me run this. Now once you run this, if you can just see, my file is been written in this document loader.py file. So this is the useful method, magic method of document loader. Now let's write the next block of code, and in this block of code we are going to write the our app function. Okay, so write file app.py, and now here in the app.py we are going to write our whole logic, how we are going to read the information and everything. Okay, so app.py, fine. Now we have to do some imports before we are running this. So from Langchain community, from Langchain community dot vector store, we are going to import. Now nowadays this framework are coming already integrated with this external libraries, so you no need to do it something different, you can use there. So for example, phase integration already been provided by the Langchain, so you can use this import for that. Again from that Langchain we need to use embedding to convert our data into the vectors representation, vector numerical representation. So from Langchain Hugging Face, we are going to import the Hugging Face embedding. Hugging Face embedding, right? Now, again, we have to create, as it's a Langchain, so we have to create the chain of your prompt and the LLM. So that's why we are going to say Langchain dot chains. Okay, and here we are importing, sorry, chains import. We are not going to retrieve, we are going to create the retrieval chain. Okay, retrieval chain. Now once we have retrieval chain, we wanted to use LLM, right? So for this we are going to use the Groq API, and Langchain already has the integration with the Groq. Okay, so we are going to say import chat Groq. Okay, now again from Langchain, now we have the Groq. Now what happened when you now you have the chain. Now let's understand. You have the chain of your prompt and the LLM. Okay, now what you want, whatever the information we are retrieve from the vector database, we wanted to create the stuff document, right? We wanted to, whatever information you are retrieving, we wanted to stuff it, right? So for that we are call the method called as a create stuff document, and it is available in the Langchain. So Langchain dot chains, okay, dot combine document import. From the import we call the create stuff document chain. Okay, now also whenever asking any prompt to the Langchain, there is a something, the prompt template methodology we are following. We have to create a prompt template. Okay, and this prompt template we pass. So there are two types: system prompt, user prompt. System prompt is the prompt how your system want to behave in the backend, right? And the user prompt is the user is going to ask. So all this we combine together and it is called as a prompt template. So for that you are using the Langchain underscore core dot combine, sorry, Langchain dot core prompts. Okay, and we are importing chat prompt template because we have to create the chat prompt. Okay, that's why we are not going to use this lang QA. So let's delete this. Okay, and then we are going to use the Streamlit app. So that's why we are going to say Streamlit as st. Also, sorry. Okay, also we are going to require the method of load document from this document loader, right? So generally we don't require to write this line, but if you are using, as we are using this Google Colab, so Google Colab doesn't understand the, if you say import document loader or from document loader, and that's why we have to append the path, and that's why I'm importing the sys, the sys dot path dot append, and we are going to pass this path of this document loader. Let's say copy path, and okay, so when you say, so now it's local to the runtime. So from now I can say document loader, right, and import load document. Okay, that is the method we have, right? So now we have everything here, right? So let's now first of all, so we done with the imports, right? Now let's first of all create the Streamlit app. So whenever you open the Streamlit app, you want something title, right? So let's say st dot title. Okay, and in this st dot title we say LLM power question and answer. So this title comes. So this is my Streamlit title. Now, so this is okay. Let's say now I have title. Okay. Now first of all, once you have the title, you want a file uploader space. Okay. So let's say load document. Okay, and in this load document you call the st file uploader. Okay, so when I say file uploader, what happen in the Streamlit, and when you open, there is a space will be created from where you can upload the file, right? So let's use the, yeah, this is something that we want, upload a PDF file, type is a PDF. Okay, now when you upload the PDF, the return type is a uploaded file. So because that file we have to send, right? It's say, now if file is uploaded, right, if the file is uploaded, right, so we have to use the load document. So that's why we are going to create the this thing. Fine. Now let's say we have the temporary file. Okay, and this temporary file is the temp.pdf. Okay, and this temp.pdf we are passing to the chunks. So yeah, so we are using this. Let's uh, okay, 1 second. first of all, before we are creating the chunks, we need to open this temporary file, right? So let's say temp file temp.pdf. Okay, now with temp.pdf file as a file, we wanted to write and get the value. Also, we want my file name, right? We want my file name, that is upload.file name. Now, okay, now get the value. Now we have chunks. So this is chunks load document, from where we are now not passing the uploaded file. We are going to pass the temp file. Okay, temp.file. Okay, now when we have this temp file, okay, now what we wanted to do here, now we have chunks, right? Now we have chunks. So st dot write. Okay, now we have to do something. These chunks, when we are doing, it takes some time. So when we say processing document, okay, and we are passing some watch, something like that. Okay, so as it takes some time. Okay, okay, fine. Now we are processing. Now we want embeddings to be created, right? So for this we are saying embeddings, and for that we are using Hugging Face embedding model, and the model name is the sentence transformer all mini LM v62, right? So this will, here embedding model we are going to load. Now this will take some time, as if you are doing first time. If you are doing next time, it will not take too much time. So we are passing this file, then vector store trace from document. Now what happened, we are passing these chunks and the embedding, so that it will create the chunks and the embedding in your vector database. Okay, now we want retriever. Okay, when we say vector, so vector store, let's say not, so we want retriever, right? So 1 second, so we have this vector store. Instead of vector store, let's say vector db. Okay, so that it will say, so we have vector db, where in vector db we are storing. Now in the vector db, we as a retriever, okay, then in the LLM we are using chat Groq. Okay, and we are going to mention model is equal to Qwen. Now we, whatever model you have, you can use that, but I'm using Qwen 2.532b. Okay, now we have this. Then once we have, I'm going very slow guys, because so that you should do along with me, right? Write down. And now we have LLM, we have retriever, we have embeddings created. Now what left? We left with the prompt, right? So let's create the system prompt. Okay, so chat prompt template, and the chat prompt template, from we are calling method call as a from messages. Okay, from messages, and in the from messages we are going to create the list. Second, okay, so okay, and here we are passing the system message. System, in the system we are saying system prompt. Okay, now we forgot to write the system prompt. So let's say system prompt. Okay, so what we are going to write in system prompt? System prompt, we are saying you are helpful or let me just copy paste to save our time. Okay, so you are a helpful assistance. Use given context to answer the question. If you don't know the answer, say you don't know, and then this is a context, the context that is being retrieved. Then we are passing system prompt, and again something that is called as a human. Okay, human, that is the question, or instead of question we are saying input. Okay, now let me delete this. Now we have, okay, system prompt. Now once done this, we have to create the chain, as I mentioned. Okay, so let's say chain is equal to create retrieval chain, and in the retrieval chain we are passing the, what we are passing, we are passing the, okay, no, before this chain we have two chains. One is the LLM and the prompt. So we call, say, question answer chain, right? The question answer chain. In the question answer chain we have to create the stuff document, right? So create the stuff document chain. So in the stuff document chain, what we are passing, LLM comma prompt. Okay, now we have this question answer chain, we are passing the LLM plus prompt. In normal chain we are giving retrieval chain, where we are passing my question answer plus retrieval. Which retrieval? This vector db retriever, right? Okay, so I hope you understand. So we have stuff document LLM comma prompt, and here we are passing the question answer chain and the retriever. Now let's say we wanted to accept the question, so but we don't have any placeholder for this, right? So to create the placeholder, we are saying question dot st dot text input. Okay, and we are saying ask a question about the document, right? Ask the question about the document. Now once we have question about the document, if question is there, what we want response, right? So this response is equal to chain dot invoke, that is the question. Okay, but we are as question we are accepting as an input, because if you see here we are passing this as an input. So we have the input, and then whatever input we have we are passing, we want the answer of this. Okay, now whatever answer we are getting, we write in the response. So this is what the program we have here. So let me rerun it once. Okay, right. So this, let's run this. And here now to run this app in Google Colab, we have to do something. So we have to install first a local tunnel here, and there is a one more line that you need to run. So let me print here. Okay, what I am passing, Streamlit run content API, then logs. This is the path of your app file log, and you can copy as it is. Now when you execute this, this is come, right? Now you have to open this. Now when you open, please copy this IP address. Now when you copy this IP address, you have to pass as a, put as a password, and then click submit. Okay, now this will take some time because it's loading your Streamlit app and all other libraries. Now meanwhile it is coming, please remember, use this app only for the POC things. Don't use for the any other purpose, otherwise you don't know where your data gone is going. Okay, so please use only for the POC. Now we are getting error that from Langchain import py-pdf. A second. Okay, let's say my PDF loader. Hmm, it's done. Let me stop this. Also, we have received error is dot path dot append. So let's look at this. Content document loader dot append. Okay, let me run this again. Okay, let's close this. We are passing this as a password. Let's see. Also, this time, yeah, this time there is no problem. So let's browse this now. Let's pass any document. Let's say temp. Okay. Now, what this temp contain? This contains something. Let me show you that file as well. Uh, it has some. Okay. Now, if you to look at this, okay, it has something called as a PDF, right? It has something called as a PDF of some CV, right? So it's a data scientist experience. So sample CV is there. I have just downloaded from internet for this demonstration. Okay, so let's check out this. Okay, now we are getting some error that the API key options must be set either by passing API key to the client. Oh, so we forgot to set the API key. So let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Probably we can say we have API key here. Okay, so let me copy this. Say OS dot environment Groq API key, and what API key want? Groq API key. Okay, have this. We import the OS. Let's run this again and execute this. Is the password? I think password is the same all the time. Let's click to submit. Okay, I think this way it is not working. We need to find out the other way to do this. So let's say the data dot. Okay, we'll do it earlier. Okay, They grant the access. Okay, run this. Then we are able to run this part. Okay, let's run this. Now I hope finally it will work now. Yes. So let's drag the file. Okay, so we have this same file uploaded. Is processing. Will take some time because let me explain meanwhile this block of code again because this is very important. Okay, so we are giving title to LLM power question answer. As you can see, it's coming here, right? Then we are using file uploader. Okay, so where we are uploading, so this something is coming when we say upload a PDF because of this line. Once we upload a file, we are using that. So file, once the file is uploaded, we have to store in some kind of PDF format. So we are saying that temp file is the dot slash temp PDF. So we are giving this file name temp PDF. We are opening that PDF file and get the all the data from here, right? Now what we are doing, we are storing our file name in this file name. Okay, then we are loading, we use the method of load document. You can also skip this directly, no need to do, you can just say uploaded file here. This will also work. You can keep all this line and just say load document upload file. This will way also it works. No, you no need to, we no need to do this line of code. Okay, then do the processing time. Then we are just adding to, so because loading the Hugging Face model and chunking, it will take some time. So to just have the make the uh, user experience better, we are doing this. And then this is a Hugging Face model. We are using open source model for the embedding. Then we are using vector DB. So for that we are passing chunk and embedding so that the vector representation of your data is created here and storing in the vector DB. Now we initiated this as a retriever. Okay, and use the LLM chat GPT chat Groq model, the Qwen. This is a system prompt. This is a prompt. So we are creating the chat prompt template, which is a combination of system prompt and the user prompt as an input. Then here we are creating the stuff documents. Now whenever you are passing the so we are using LLM and the prompt. Using the LLM and prompt, we are creating this stuff document methodology so that we are passing to the LLM. Now we have the question answer chain, right? Now once we have question answer chain, it is very important to do the retrieval the stuff, and for that we are using passing question answer chain and plus retriever. Now we have the chain here, and then we are asking the question. So this, when I say ask question, it is coming here. Okay, so and then if the question is there, we are asking the input, and the response we are storing and displaying here. So let's say we are asking for a question, please list down the technical skills. Okay, and let's hit enter. We're getting some error here. Okay, so we were getting some error, and the error is because of the we are not passing the way we pass this information. So earlier we returned this question answer chain first and then retriever. So the way we have to pass, we first have to pass the retriever and then the question answer chain, and that was the solution. So let me again run this. Okay, uh, copy this, Okay, it is already there, so let's not require. Browse the file. Okay, and let's say question, list down the non-technical skills and the candidate name. Let's say whether it's identify or not. Okay, so see, this is the non-technical skill, and he's correctly identified the candidate name, that is Gustav Santos, that we have seen earlier. Okay, let me show you here as well. Yeah, so Gustav Santos is the person name, and there are few non-technical skills. Okay, so I hope you understand. You can just play with this application. I will upload this to my GitHub, from where you can download the resources, do the modification, use different methods. But the intention of this thing, that do along with you, solve the if error comes. Okay, so that you can also solve uh, this. If you face similar problem, you can also come to know how to solve those issues, and give the basic understanding of RAG and how you can use using the Langchain. If you like this lecture, please say thumbs up. Okay, say like, and also if you have any suggestion, queries, please feel free to use the comment section. So far, thank you so much. See you in the next video.